What is happening out there, everybody? JT here in the studio, Studio 10-4 Live, the weekly update for you, coming at you on the 6/19/2024. Man, it is burning through another year out here, isn't it? June 19th. We're on top of it. Things are happening. We got a show, and man, we got a show today. First, I want to say thanks to Mario over in Mario's Diesel High Performance. He's got a truck show coming up. Actually, races probably one of the last. Well, not one of the last, but one of the few last races of the season that's going to be happening. That's going to be up in Alberta, Canada, and it is appropriately called Alberta Diesel Day, June 29th. He's going to be hosting that up there. All the usual suspects from south of the border, including our border here on the southern part of the United States and the Canadian border, are all coming up to go and race up in Alberta, Canada for a day. So big rigs out on the drag strip and lots of power, lots of diesel and a lot of fun. So get out there, check it out. Check them out on Facebook. Go to their website, get signed up. They'd sure love to have you get that done right away. That way they know who all's coming up there and they can get prepared to take care of you when you come up there and visit them. Today's got one of those special shows lined up. Our producers got in the room, got together, and made this happen, man. This is kind of a big deal. And if you haven't heard of our guest yet, I'll tell you his name right now. Whey Jennings, Nashville recording artist and country singer, songwriter. Comes from a great family and legacy of music and talent that he's sharing with us now, doing his own thing and making it happen. We had a little party, a little get together last night at some friends, and shouted out at Alexa, said, "Hey, play some Whey Jennings." And man, all this great music came out, and some of the songs I've heard because I've been getting acquainted, looking at YouTube, watching the videos, and had an early screening for the single that we're going to feature on the show today, one of them anyways, and that's 10-Day Run. So drivers, get ready for this one, man. We're going to meet an angry woman and a truck driver that's going to get a rude awakening when he gets home. If you haven't seen the video yet, you guys need to get over and check that out, and all the other music that is on YouTube on his channel. And I'll tell you what's cool is just put Whey Jennings into YouTube search, and this awesome playlist of just good old outlaw country comes up, all mixed in there with him and all these other artists that most of you probably have never heard of. Hell, most of them I never heard of, but a lot of the songs I recognized and the ones I just discovered, fell in love with. So awesome to see that happening. I know some of you know that back during COVID, we did a little thing in Folsom, California, that enabled local talent to stream live once a week while everything was shut down. We had access to a couple of different venues, and our purpose was to have the music continue where there wasn't any happening. There was no music going on. Nothing was open. Everything was closed. Everything was shut down. And every Thursday night, we brought you Folsom City Limits. I think Whey would be a great candidate for Folsom City Limits. And if I'd have known him back then, I would have invited him to come and play at the Powerhouse, which is, one of the greatest venues, I think, of Northern California. And Central California, for that matter. It's just one of those places that you just have to go check out. It's such great variety of music. But during the COVID era, we brought these unique country, outlaw country bands into play every Thursday night. And I'm happy to say that the most of them are out and they are playing all over the Sacramento region. Some of them are playing with big time bands, and not just the outlaw guys. We had some rock and roll kids that came through, man, and one of them's open for Tesla, and not just once, but he's done it a couple of times now. So the music has its way of making its way out the other side, and no matter what it's got to go through to get there, it can do it. So, um, kind of falls in line with Way's story and his music and what he's got going on. And I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring the man in. Whey Jennings, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I am all right. It's a great day to be me. I'm telling you, because I get to talk to you. So, once we got contacted by your people and they said, "Hey, we'd love to get on the show and have you guys talk away and talk about the music and what he's doing right now." I'm all over it. I wanted right away to make it happen. So, appreciate you guys reaching out and making it happen. Congratulations on all the new music.
Man, thank you so much, man. We've been working so hard on this music this year, and I'm so glad everybody's enjoying it, man.
Well, you got a bunch. So as of right now, from the new album Jekyll and Hyde, we've got 3 singles out. Is that correct?
Yep, we got Jekyll and Hyde one of these days, and 10-day run just dropped about 5 days ago.
I'll tell you what, man, Jekyll and Hyde, it is just that. That song is, you're talking about what one person can be if they can't figure out, I guess, who they want to be, right? Or trying to work to get to be the good guy, but not deal with the bad guy. You tell me.
Yeah, well, it's a song that I was sitting in a hotel room with my buddy West Ship, and he had it mostly written. He actually had it all the way written, and I just changed the bridge to it because I thought the bridge needed to change. So we changed it, and I was like, man, wow, that fits my story so well because I've spent the last 4 years of my life fighting inner demons, man. And so often in my life, they won, you know. But these days, I don't let them win no more. I keep the beast at bay. And that's kind of what this song is. It's a song about keeping your inner demons at bay, you know, and it kind of encapsulates the whole album. By the time this whole album is out, people are gonna understand what I mean by that. It's like there's so much going on it. You got inner demon songs, you got aspiration songs about what you want in your future, you got trucking songs, you got patriotic songs, you got love songs, you got addiction songs, you got there's just so much going on here, and it's all good and evil, and it's all me. You know, what I mean, it isn't all written by me, but it all fits my life so well, and I'm just so glad we was able to put it out.
I think you've taken an old recipe of what it takes to make a country western song and brought it forward. I think all those elements have been there all along. We were talking before we went live, and I think part of rock and roll and being a rock and roller is you just that's life, man. You go through it, right?
That's the truth, man. And so often you go through it wrong. You know, what I mean, everything. I made so many wrong decisions. I like to tell everybody, if you want to know how to do it wrong, just follow my life story, man. Because I did it wrong for a long time. Last
Listen to
4 years, I've actually gotten it right a few times, so I'm really kind of happy about that.
well, you're here now and you're doing it right, man. You're doing a great job with the music. I want to back up for a second too and kind of give a little bit of a history here. Now, while you have this, this legacy of where you come from, who your people are, you started out and you just told me this young, but stepped back and, you know, fast forward, you're 30 years old and now you're back on stage, and I don't know how old you are now, but 30 is when you really got this thing going. Is that right?
Yeah, but 30 is when I first attempted to do this, and I didn't really get it going until 39, honestly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, it went. I did a lot of shows and I did a lot of traveling and like I said, I did a lot of things wrong. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it. You know, I lost my mama pretty young. You know, I lost my dad soon after that. And I was just, blowing off steam for a long time. And before I knew it, 13 years had passed, and it just took a lot of doing things wrong to get down to rock bottom to where I finally gave it all over to God and went and got sober and started doing everything for the right reason. It's good love of a woman and a good support system, and most of all, a good, strong God to keep me above
Uh,
water. You know.
faithful do that for a guy. Our editor Dan Lenz, he's also the co-founder of 10-4 magazine. Great to have you on the show, Wade. I'm glad you're on the right path now, and I can tell you, that Dan and his family are very, very strong of faith family. Few like those around that we see these days, and one of the ones that doesn't have a problem blessing the meals in public, and just doing the right stuff. Good man, good family, and we've got a good organization here. So
I'm glad to hear that.
amen, amen.
Amen.
But
Exactly. Thank you.
you're welcome. Absolutely. Let's talk about some music influence, man. Like I said, you some of your influence were listed here for me, and the Jennings family, of course, obviously, Jamie Johnson, Leonard Skinnerd. So there's a couple versions of Skinner. Which one are we talking about, Ronnie or Johnny, or both?
Well,
I mean,
probably both, honestly.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
my whole goal back in the day was I wanted to take Waylon Jennings music and Leonard Skinner music and kind of make a love
mash
child of
it.
music out of the two. You know what I mean? And
Okay,
over time, I've had a few other influences that I've kind of added in there. Most of all, Jamie Johnson, honestly, because he put out this album called "That Lonesome Song" back when I was still on the cotton farm. And it's very seldom you find an album that you can listen to from beginning to end and enjoy every song on it. You know what I mean? I had so much enjoyment out of that album from beginning to end. I was like, one of these days, I want to create an album that good, you know? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing, but I think I might have done it with this one. I mean, and I didn't do it. We did it. It was me and my team and my writers, my band, my every part of my body. I mean, every part of my system that we got working out here had something to do with this, and I can't ever take credit for it. But most of all, I believe God blessed this project, and I owe that all to Jamie Johnson, honestly, because he put out an album that just made me awestruck, man. And it was just, I got to do that. I got to do that. And I'm not going to say I did that, but I'm going to say I might have done that. You know, this is a great album, and I love it.
well, just even knowing what that means, and a lot of fans don't have the old album, sit down, open it up, read the liner notes, listen, hear the stories to be told the way we did. I'm guessing when you were a kid too, probably the same kind of deal. Um, with the advancement in technology, we went from that to cassettes and 8 tracks, and then eventually CDs, and look where we're at now. And it isn't until just, I don't know, 10 years or so ago, I think vinyl sort of made a comeback, right? and
Yeah,
all
it
that
did.
came with it. Yeah,
Vinyl made a comeback, but it is so expensive to create vinyl, and it's so delicate, and that's the problem. That I'm
yeah,
probably going to do vinyl with this album, but I got to be very careful because it's the it's the carrying it around and taking the chance of it getting warped in the heat
yep,
and or broke or anything like that. And I'm the kind of guy I can't sell broken or warped property. You know what I mean? I'm
yep,
not going to feel good about that. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure out a way for people to get it pressed and for people to order it from a third party and have it shipped to them from them. You know what I mean? Because if I carry it to shows and it gets warped, I'm taking all that. You know, I'm taking all the loss on that
yeah.
because I'm not going to sell shoddy stuff. I just won't. I've been that way about my merch and everything since the beginning.
I
You know,
no, it
man,
makes sense. I can't see a guy carrying, albums out on the road, uh, for sure. No, 100% need to keep it real, like either CDs or, well, I don't know, even promoting the, downloads, I guess. I mean, that's kind of where everybody's at. And honestly, now, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. And that's, you know, subscribing to music services and literally not even buying any. And it's tough,
yeah,
man, because that's your livelihood, man. I'm screwing you up.
yeah, that's true. I mean, we're all guilty of it, man. You got YouTube and all these things, and you
Yeah,
got so many places you can listen to music. You know what I mean? But there's still a huge cult following of music out there that knows if musicians can't make a living, there will be no music.
right.
You know what I mean? So to at some point, you gotta kind of support musicians, or there's not going to be no music, So I mean, it's kind of a just it's kind of like any other line of work. If you're not farming, there's not going to be no food to eat. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just that kind of thing. If you're not ordering stuff, there's not going to be no trucks to ship it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Absolutely. Hey, you know what though? Music's far from dead, and there's a lot of streaming services out there. But I'll tell you what, man, we all need to tip our hat to George Strait, right?
I know, right? Did you see what he just did?
Yeah.
I was like, wow. He did it. He did it. He broke all the records.
He said, I caught a snippet, and he says, "Not bad for an old boy with a cowboy hat and a guitar, right?"
That's the truth, man. But it's George Strait. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, yeah.
George Strait is probably one of the greatest to ever do it, man. He was just, ain't no probably to it. He's definitely one of the greatest to ever do it. My
I've
mama
been.
was absolutely infatuated with that man. I mean, I ain't even joking.
Oh, I'm sure, and a billion other women out there too that love George Strait music. I don't know if you follow Yellowstone or not. You watch that show?
I did. I did. I just hadn't watched it here recently, but I do. I love that show. I
There's
got some
one
friends
of
with
the
music on there.
there's one of the episodes where the guys are at the Four Sixes ranch in Texas, and they introduce one of the new hands and tell them that there's two gods in Texas, George Strait and some old cowboy. I can't remember his name. And the guy says, you just met one of them. And he was just talking to the old cowboy at
Oh,
the,
yeah. I remember
you
that
know, that one.
episode. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, George gets love everywhere. So good on him. Marshall Tucker, another one, and incidentally, the two that I've seen that are on your list, Leonard Skinner and Marshall Tucker, I've seen them. I saw Willie and Waylon and those guys years ago in, of all places, you'll love this, Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds in California. They
Well,
used to
there you
do
go.
yeah, it was just this little place that seemed like it would catch a great show or several of them during the show season. But yeah, that was back when Willie was doing Nelson and Family, and there and
Right.
he was traveling with Marshall Tucker, in fact, during one of those shows. But it was just a great time, man. Back in that era was a great time, and I think it's awesome that there's still people capturing that music and bringing it forward like you're doing now, which I can't tell guys enough, man. Everybody out here that's watching and is going to watch us on the playback, you guys need to go over onto YouTube and check it all out, and then order some albums, man. Order some albums on Amazon or wherever you buy stuff from, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But take it all in. There's some great music to be had out there from Whey and the people that come along with you and your recommended playlist that YouTube developed for us, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah, man, we got a bunch of cool friends out here that's doing it, man. I mean, a lot of people think country music's dead, but it really ain't. You just got to look
No.
harder for it. You know.
Well, I mean, do you want we could go into that, define country music, right? The old school guys, there's two kinds of music, country and western.
Hmm.
There's what I call pop country, which, that's a big deal, man. I mean, um,
It is. It really is. Thing about it
and
is, you can call anything whatever you want as long as it's that to you. What we got is we got all these musicians and all this plethora of music. What I mean, out here in this world, and we still only got these little 3 or 4 genres to cram it into. You know what I mean?
yep, yep,
And it's expanded so much that there's such. If you want to feel any way ever, you can find a song to help you do that. You know what I mean? Whether you
yep.
want to call it country, rock, pop, rap, whatever you want to call it. Okay. If it makes you feel good, what they call it now is good music. That's it.
So here's a question I've never gotten to ask somebody like you. You're creating a timeline of music as you go through your life now.
Hmm.
So you can go back and remember, what you were singing, what album you just, let out at any given time in your life. And there's your timeline. Do you have other music that you can reflect back on with other artists that help influence that timeline and give you those memories?
Of course, man. I mean, you gotta realize my parents, both of them, my mom and my dad, they both had these extensive record collections. And that's literally how I bonded with both of them. We sit around, we listen to music, we play Yahtzee and Farkle and dominoes or whatever kind of little game you want to play to hang out. And we listen to albums and we listen to all kinds of music. And all of it, I soaked it all up like a sponge. You know what I mean? So literally, when I'm writing songs and it reminds me of one of them songs, it takes me back to a memory I have of one of my parents. You know, so
Nice.
or it was somebody that meant something to me, and that's what
Nice.
music is meant to do. It's not only something that's entertaining; it's something that kind of stimulates your mind and brings back memories of times that you may never get back.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Life music is so powerful. I mean, it's more than entertainment. You got music, you got the music business. But honestly, what you got here is music that can change the world, and it can lift you up, it can break you down. It depends on what you want to feel at that time. There's a song out there for you.
yeah, I 100% agree. I have so many songs through life. I mean, my mom was a rocker, from back in the 60s, and so I got to, get the benefit of being brought up by her and her music, and my dad was completely off the rails with, his music, which was, swing and big band and from those eras. So talk
Hey
about a
man, this stuff's
massive
good too.
confusion.
That stuff's good too, man. I mean, I can't think of a genre I don't like something in. You know what I mean? Like my favorite kind is like the '50s rock and roll. You know what I mean?
Doo-wop.
That sock
Yep.
hopping doo wop stuff, man. It makes
Yep.
you that the stuff that just makes you smile. You know what I mean? That feel good music. Then somewhere along the line, somebody wanted to cry, so they started making the blues, and then they started. It's just if you look at genres, they're not really genres; they're emotions. Honestly, if
I
you want
mean,
to feel this way, listen to this music. If you want to feel this way, listen to
yeah,
this music. It just
yeah.
depends on where you're at in your life.
Well, and now it's just too damn easy. You just Alexa play whatever, and I mean that's how it is around here anyways. And you know, it is just too easy. And frankly, I mean, I'm rotten spoiled with it, man. I'll tell you, I really am. You got access to more music now than I think we've ever had. Uh,
Definitely,
I hope it means an income for musicians. You should be getting royalties and the things that you should be getting for your music. I mean, obviously, criminy. Look what some artists are cashing in big. Look, I don't know if you heard about Queen now, what they're getting. Uh,
oh man, it just the thing about it is, if you want to do this for a living, you can't go after fame and fortune. You
yeah,
got to be
no,
doing this. You got to be doing this for the right reasons.
yeah,
Because while fame and fortune could happen,
yeah,
don't mean it's going to. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
got to really love it, and you got to be out here trying to make a living and support your family. You can't really go at it like I want to be the biggest thing ever. You know what I mean? Because honestly, being the biggest thing ever ain't gonna do nothing but get you in trouble. Really,
Yeah.
it gives you all this time to make all the mistakes. You know what I mean? Because you're on the road like 200 something dates a year, and you're just like, you know, it's like you got no time at home. You got nothing. You're making a great living, but when do you get time to spend the money? It's like, it's
Well,
like it's a catch 22. Which one you want? You want time with your family, or you want a big old pile of money you can't spend? I mean, which one you want?
and with that, I'm gonna say two things. Great segue to take us into 10-day run. And Dwayne says he remembers you played in Redondo Beach, California one time. So
Yeah, I played in
you
California quite a few times, man. I've had a great time out there.
awesome. All right. So you want to give us a setup on this one for 10-day run? You just want me to throw it up here for him.
I'll give you a segue for it. 10-Day Run is a song that reminds me of my childhood. All my uncles and my stepdad were all truckers, and I used to go out on the road with them and ride shotgun, play with the CBs, and hold the Alice across the dash and all the good stuff. And I remember that my mama wasn't too happy when my stepdad was gone too long, and my aunts weren't too happy when my uncles were gone too long. So I decided to write a song about truckers who were gone too long. Hope y'all like it.
And what could happen if y'all don't get home soon. All
Yep,
right,
right
here we
there.
go. 10-day run.
This tank is almost empty, and this is my last load. I'm counting down the minutes till I get to go back home. It's been 10 long days of work while she sits at home all alone. I got 7 days to love her, and these 18 wheels are burning up the road. The stars are bright above me, and I'm howling at the moon. Babe, I hope to be there by tomorrow afternoon. I know that you hate waiting, but this truck is doing all it can do. And with any luck tomorrow, I'll be spending supper time with you. It's been 10 days on the road. I'm trying to get back home. My baby's sitting on the couch blowing up my phone. I know that she ain't happy. I'm pretty sure she's lit. I don't know how much longer she'll be putting up with this. So I better get back home just as fast as I can before she up and leaves me for some wealthy businessman. I pull up the driveway, I'm ready for a fight. The lawn is covered in old blue jeans and half-smoked Marlboro Light. I guess she finally had it, she's taking all she can. It's just a broken story of a long-haul trucking man. It's hard to please a woman who could never please her man. She's taking me for granted, Lord, please help me understand.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Billy Powell be proud of your guy on piano too, buddy.
I tell you what, man, we got to kill it.
Hey, man, she makes me cringe. I want to run.
That's the point. Yep.
It was 10 days on the road before I got back home. She said,
Just
fire to the couch, along with my clothes. I knew she was crazy, but who expected this? Everything was torn apart, soaking wet and sin. I didn't make it home before it all went up in flames. So I put my truck back into gear and I just drove away. Good riddance, woman. Don't you come back around here no more, yeah?
I love that video, man. I just walked right back into a burning house. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking, what were you thinking?
Dramatic effect. What you call artistic license right there.
I think so. I want to take a minute and mention you got the Double J blinker bars up there on the front, and I want to also talk a minute here. I'm going to bring up the information because I want to get it right. Let's see, where's he at here? Lauren Snap, that's the angry lady there in the video, and real life truck driver Hubert Whitehead of L&J Express, and it looks like he's running about a 98 379. I don't know, unless it's been kitted and it's a later model truck, but looks like it's around a 98 or so. And nicely done ride. So love to see that guy out at a show someday and hanging out with us and telling everybody that he made that video.
Yeah, he will. I'm guarantee. You know a guy named Tony Justice?
Oh, of course. Tony's been on the show. He's a friend of 10-4. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did a truck show with him. That's where I seen Hubert last before this video. Was at a truck show that we played out of that Tony Justice put on. And we had a good time out there at that. And first time I ever met Hubert was out at a Duke Fest. He was hanging out with Danny Shirley from Confederate Railroad. So, man, that
Okay.
guy gets around, man. I tell you what, I just absolutely love Hubert. He's a good guy.
Well, Tony's show that he just did was Large Cars and Guitars, right? Is that the one you
Yeah,
were at?
I played that. I don't know if it was last. I think it was the year before last. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tony's the real deal, man. He drives and sings and plays guitar, and
I actually called him first to see if he wanted to be in this video and see if he wanted to do it. He said, "Man, I have my truck tore apart right now." And I was like, and so he sent Hubert my way, and Hubert come over and did it for me, man.
man, I'm going to give him crap about that. He should have been in there, man.
He's probably gonna regret it, I'm sure.
I'm thinking he is, because he's going to hear about it now. I'm going to say, yeah, I was talking to Whey, Whey Jennings. Yeah, the hell are you thinking, man? You should have got the band together and put the truck back together and got in the damn video. Oh,
Exactly, right? Oh, Hubert's laughing it up over there now.
oh yeah, I'll bet he
I
is.
tell you what,
I bet he is.
it could have turned out any better. Hubert did a great job.
Nope.
He come out there. He was just the nicest guy. He just got to work with. Lauren Snap did an awesome job. She said, "Y'all come over to my house. You can burn it down. You can break my dishes. You can throw my old man clothes out in the yard. You can do whatever you want to." I was like, "All right, we'll do it." And we come over there. We respected her place, but man, she was like, "You can do whatever you want to."
I'll tell you what it reminded me of was the R&B video, TLC, and in the video, Lefty Lopez, the gal, she's no longer with us. Well, she in real life burnt down Andre Rison's house.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then Andre must have been a truck driver.
I think he was. Hey, let's talk about another song in here, and we spoke about it just a little bit before we got started, man. Also, want to shout out to your gang, your group, Dirt Rock Empire, man. Love the name, and a lot of artists are under that banner. It seems like, huh?
Yeah. It was started by the Lax a bunch of years ago, and they've been. And Creed Fisher used to be up there with me. He's moved on from right now, but I've got a bunch of cool people on that label with me, and it's home, man. I love them folks. It's a good, honest, wholesome, family-oriented record label, and that's really what I strive to be a part of. You know what I mean? Good people who are honest, that I can trust, and that we all work together good. And that's what I got with Dirt Rock Empire. They're just awesome individuals, and I could never be happier.
Well, and now, have you been with Dirt Rock Empire all through the previous 3 records and now this one, or how has that been all the way through? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't out of rehab very long when I played Lackfest, and I talked to Clay, which is one of the Lacks, and he offered me a deal with Dirt Rock Empire. It was just a small deal that we was gonna get started, and he said he helped me get started, and he did. Kept his word, and he got it behind me. He started with that first one. We kept making them all the way through. I've done nothing but grow, and I owe a large part of that to Dirt Rock Empire. Between Dirt Rock Empire and my manager Tammy Carolus and my other manager David Wade and Jason, my publicist, and my band, and just the whole team we've built all the way around this has just been awesome. Brandon United, my videographer, T.O. Gote. It's just, I feel like God's been working in my life in such a way that he has put all the tools that I've needed in my career right in my path. And I would really have to not be looking to miss it. You know what I mean?
You know what, man? I got to tell you, I can't agree with you more. And in my own testimony of life, when you're young, I think you worry about things, man. You get old, you just don't worry about it. It's give it to a higher power and he's going to take care of you. You got to do your part, so let's not be naive. You got to do your part, but one door opens when another shuts. It's just reality. That is real, man. I have a testimony of that. It is a fact. So, and I see that in your life. Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And what's crazy is, man, the cleaner you get and the more integrity you have in your life, the more it's easier to spot people with integrity. And they almost like glow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very easy to find your circle of people because they just stick out like a sore thumb. It's crazy. It's like, I know I can trust this person, and I absolutely know I cannot trust this person. It's just, you know what I mean? It's really crazy. I mean, if you're one of the group, it's very easy to find your group, and it's just crazy, you know.
You know, I don't know. I've had my moments where it's been a little cloudy, and certainly I've paid for it. I can just say that much. And
Mm.
yeah, it's made me a little bit more careful and conscious about what I'm doing and who I'm doing with. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Want to
we've
make
all
sure.
had them, man. We've all had our rough times in life, man. It's just you learn lessons. I mean, even bad things that happen to you give you good reasons to do better. You know what I mean? So
Well,
it's really a kind of a balance, man. It's like it's really hard for me to explain. It's really hard to put into words because I just don't believe it's supposed to be put into words in a lot of ways. You just got to know it, and you just kind of feel it, what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? It ain't hard to be a good person. It's just very easy to be a bad one if you want to be. You know?
well, I think you're putting a lot of good stuff out there in your songs, and one of them that I was kind of leading up to here with all this was, uh, if it wasn't for the sinning, and the lyric in the song, it says, "How could I be forgiven if it wasn't for the sinning?" And that's God's plan, man. I mean, look, he knew we were going to screw up,
Yeah.
and okay, that was a, that was a given. Luckily, we have grace that's saved us, and we're able to repent. We're able to do the things that we need to do to stay on that path
Mm.
and hang on to the rod. I mean, everybody's got their different path that they go down, but we're all hopefully heading down that same one together at some point. And that song for us last night, we all kind of looked at each other and we're like, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. That's the truth, though, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
how could we be forgiven if it wasn't for the sin? You know what I mean?
No,
If we were
no.
all perfect beings, then there wouldn't be just that one perfect being, you know?
Yeah, no, that was a good one. Also, I'd like to throw one more out there if you're up for it. And I just had it queued up here, so let me bring it back up and make sure I get to it again here. And that's one of your new ones. One of these days, man. Here it is, right here. You
Hell
up for
yeah,
that?
son. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely up for that.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. The video is just beautiful. I love it.
One of these days I'm gonna sing my way back home. One of these days I'm gonna lose this urge to roam. One of these days, yeah, one of these days. One of these days I'm gonna put me down some roots, plant some pretty flowers in these beat up boots. One of these days, yeah, one of these days. One of these days, my ways are gonna change, and I'll stay, you'll see. One of these days I'm gonna buy a lot of land, build a big old house with my own two hands. One of these days, yeah, one of these days.
Next line's my favorite one.
Yeah.
One of these days all my kids will have kids. They'll all come home for Christmas and we'll sit and reminisce. One of these days,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, one of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna do the family thing. Yeah, one of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna do the right thing. Yeah, one of these days.
Don't they just make you feel good? Makes me feel good.
I'll tell you what, man, it deserves an amen after hearing it. And yeah, it does. That's a great song, and love the video. You make it look really easy sitting up there on that porch, man. I'll tell you.
I mean, it felt real good, man. We had the perfect weather for that shoot. And it was supposed to just been like a visualizer. Like it just watching me walk around through the creek and walk around through with the horses and walk around. I was like, I think I just need to sing the song and make it a performance video with no storyline. So, and he was like, that ain't gonna be too much harder. We'll just do that. So, and Gio, he's like really a good guy, and he just went ahead and did it, and it just turned out beautiful. One of my favorite parts is that rock that's in that garden, and it says, "Surely God is in this place." I just love that part. It's great.
I just got a little bump there from your buddy, and he says we gotta clear the show and let you go. I could hang here for another hour easy, man. That's easily done with you. So I appreciate taking the time and joining us and becoming a part of Studio 10-4 Live and hanging out with us, man. I appreciate that.
You bet, brother, man. I really had a great time. Hope we can do this again, man. To all you
Um,
truckers out there, we love you and thank you for everything you do.
Right on. Anytime, Way, you let me know. There's always a spot here for you. Best of luck with the new album, and I hope to see you sometime in real life somewhere, man.
Yeah, man. Come on out, brother. Well, we're
All right.
everywhere.
Take care.
Later, bud.
Whey Jennings, guys, I really appreciate him hanging with us and taking the time to come out and talk about his music. And criminy, I had a whole bunch more questions too. I'd love to shoot out there at him, but got some of the good ones out, and it's fun to talk to performers, especially and you're sitting there watching them watch themselves, and that's got to be some, I don't know, I think that's got to be kind of a weird deal a little bit. You're watching yourself perform. He's nodding. Yeah. I can't imagine it not being. Think about it this way: the first time you ever heard your own voice, when you was a kid or whenever it was, and you heard yourself for the first time, and then you saw yourself for the first time. If you've never recorded yourself, do it sometime and watch it play back, and you'll kind of get what I'm saying, man. It's kind of a different deal. And then doing what an artist does, like Way on these videos, can't say enough how cool it was to have him on the show and watch the videos with him and hang out. So listen, everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in. I know there's going to be a bunch of you watching on the playback. Can't wait to see that happen. Thanks everybody for tuning in too, man. Gerald, Sean, Gene, Dan, Shan, Dwayne, the list goes on. Those of you that came in early when we first get started, see, hey, Dougie, what's going on? Eric, what's going on? Didn't catch you. Joe, Mike, Ingrid, what's happening? Big Daddy Julian, good to have you on the show too. Appreciate all of you guys every week tuning in. Hey, something else I want to get out there, and that is, first of all, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our first flyer up and out for the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show, and that's going to be coming up in November officially 2nd and 3rd. We will have the property on Friday the 1st for people to get in and get parked. Trucks, RVs, vendors, everybody can get in and get parked on Friday. And honestly, I think it's going to just need to be, done that way because, and we don't have all this down in stone yet, man, but it's getting there. when this thing starts on Saturday, it's going to go all day, and there's going to be competition. Man, we got stuff planned for you guys. You're not even going to believe how cool this is going to end up being. Um, first annual 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show, and it's going to be at Kevin Harvick Kern Raceway, and that's down in Bakersfield, California. There's so much room at this place for RVing, dry camping. Going to be dry camping if you bring your RV, but who cares, right? There's also, nearby 10 miles. We had, hey, Gio, yeah, you can get a poster, guys, as soon as we get these things. This is literally the first rendition of this poster, and Dan created it today. So as soon as he, gets it finalized and ends up being the way we want it, then we'll get it out there to everybody. But, know this, man, this is just some of the stuff we talked about and want to get to be happening. And that's going to be the backing competition, transfer dump competition, towing. We want to get the tire service guys out there and do tire changing competition, hay loading, tarping. The list goes on, and we'll get it narrowed down and figured out. It'll happen. Hey, Daniel says it'll be in the July edition. So this one is actually going to get put in there into the July edition, guys. So you'll be able to get a look at it there, and probably on the website too. So somebody wants to get a copy of it or something, I'm sure we could figure something out to get these hung up. And we need to, yeah, Dan, this is a good idea, man. Gio's got the right idea. Get them hung up in as many of the chrome shops and different places that we have what we do 10-4 magazine out there at, and get it going, right? Yeah, doors and yeah. So next few days we'll get that posted up and out, guys, and then and make it happen. Dale, what's going on, brother? Long time no see, man. Dale Bocleone. Good to have you on the show. I am as excited as I freaking can't believe how cool this show is going to be in November. Number one, it's in November. Nobody has a show in November, but we do. And we're going to have it at the first weekend of November, and it's going to be the last show of the season, pretty much. I think we're going to close the season out in Bakersfield. And I was getting to it. The town of Laverne's right down the road, 10 miles. That's one of the nearby towns. Hey, Steve, what's going on, man? Waving from Tulare. Cool. Good to have you on the show. And Laverne, they got everything. Every restaurant, store, hotel, motel, whatever, they got it all there. So if you're not an RVer and you need a place to stay, which you will if you're going to come out to this show, you can stay down the road 10 miles and hang out, man. If you got a trailer, RVs, whatever, we didn't talk about it, Dan. Do we allow tent camping? I don't know. Anyway, God, there's so many different ways to do things nowadays. We'll see what happens, but guys, get ready for it. And that again is November 2nd and 3rd, the Saturday and Sunday of November 2nd, 3rd. November 1st is part of the deal, but that's a Friday. Check in, park, get set up, vendors, trucks, RVs, whatever. You guys can get in on Friday. Coming up before we even get down the road to that, we've got and want to say thanks to Mario and the guys. Alberta Diesel Day, that's coming up on the 29th. That's in Alberta, Canada. And this place, from what I hear, the raceway is freaking awesome. They've got I think, if I'm not mistaken, room for 15,000 people at this place. Mario, help me out if you're out there. So it's a big venue. It's a big deal. This could be a whole another, pilgrimage for us down here south of the Canadian border. But there's a big audience up there waiting for diesel truck and drag races. So the big rigs will be up there. They're going to be drag racing on the 29th, and that's going to be up in Alberta, Canada, Alberta Diesel Day. T-Dub, what's happening, man? Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. Yeah. Thanks again, by the way, guys. What a freaking awesome show, man. Whey Jennings on the show in Studio 10-4 live. I just can't tell you enough how how cool that was for me to have musician, performer, artist of that caliber on the show. And listen, I mean, we've had some others on here too, and not taking anything from any of them, but just saying what an opportunity. And we're going to keep doing this. We'll get people on here from time to time, and honestly, some of them they reach out to us, and some of them we reach out to them. Whey and his people reached out to us, so I really feel blessed that we're where they wanted to go and who they wanted to hang out with. And we talked about Tony Justice, and Whey had played large cars and guitars. So who knows? Maybe there's if there's a moment in his touring schedule in November, he can come play a couple songs down at the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo in Bakersfield, California. That would be a damn fine time and some good music. Guys, check out all of his music on YouTube, on all of your stream services. And of course, if you all want to buy the record, the album, you can still do that too. I mean, there's any number of ways to get your music. And I'll tell you, my favorite for the visual impact is YouTube, because it's so cool to watch the videos. And you pay a little extras for the commercial-free YouTube service. I do. It's worth it to me to not get interrupted while I'm listening to a song. But when you put Whey in there and it develops a playlist, you're going to love it. If you love outlaw country, you're going to love Whey Jennings, and you're going to love all the other artists that come along with him on his playlist. So, all right, y'all, listen, been a pleasure, been my privilege to be on here and do this for you guys this week. Keep the shiny side up. We'll be back next week again on Wednesday. Don't know who we're going to have on here yet, but it'll be somebody cool, and we'll make it fun. You guys have any suggestions for anybody you want to see or have me get on the show? Drop me a line. Let me know. I'll get them on here, and we'll make it a fun time for everybody. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.